Well, it's not good for the sport. You know, it's unfortunately what happened, and no one wants it. I didn't actually see it because we were doing an interview in the room, and I come out and I heard about it. No one wants.
Bottom line is, we spend our life in sport condoning people's behaviour because they happen to be good at what they're doing. And now all of a sudden, we're going to suggest that ultimately this is the ultimate cut. Is it? Do I look at it and go, I'm shocked and horrified beyond all recognition? No, I'm not. I think it's crap. I think it's garbage. But there's an element.
He promised me unequivocally that he would smash John Fury to pieces. Should the event actually happen? Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former, he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, without having been pretty damn decent in your own professional career.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there. I don't think I let myself down there, but I didn't want to get in the ring to then have a roll around. Didn't fancy it, but I was looking round for you. Even you missed it.
I've worked all my life as a boxer to get to this point. I'm the #1 challenger, mandatory challenger. I'll never get this slot again. I'll fight and I'll still beat him. No matter how I feel on the night.
Boxing pros are ripping into John Fury after his explosive confrontation with Carl Froch, where a heated face-off reportedly crossed the line when Fury headbutted the former world champion. What started as another war of words suddenly became something much more serious, leaving the boxing world questioning.
It should happen in the ring. It's done and dusted, and now, you know, we won't be any more of it, that's for sure. And everybody wants to show some respect to each other, and let's see what the fight where it should happen.
Just how far this feud can go. Even Frank Warren, a promoter who knows better than most how much controversy can generate attention, has been quick to distance himself from Fury's behavior. Instead of defending the chaos, Warren
is an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, you know, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, you know, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out. The authorities will have a word with him out there.
Warren's reaction has made one thing clear. There is a difference between selling a fight and completely losing control before the fight has even been signed. Johnny Nelson takes the situation a step further, suggesting that boxing...
You know, in that respect, I think it was out of character for John. Really? Like, how many times has he squared up to someone or shouted at someone and not done anything? But that's okay. I'd rather that. I think it's good for the fight and it's good for the show. This was different. This was...
Officials could eventually become involved. If physical contact during a face-off leads to disciplinary action, the consequences could extend far beyond embarrassment. What was supposed to be promotional theater has now created...
Behave like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So it's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me in belly. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know that's not...
Questions about responsibility, safety, and whether authorities will allow the situation to continue escalating. Eddie Hearn has seen countless confrontations during his career. Fighters scream, threaten each other.
It wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch this.
Shove one another and create headlines before stepping inside the ring. But this situation appears different. According to Hearn, something changed when the verbal confrontation became physical.
That's John Fury, and that light bulb switches on. You know that Carl Froch is a bad man. He was when he was fighting, and he's probably got that same spite in him now. And if he lands one on Fury, then it could be quite devastating. And Froch has always been quite heavy-handed. You know, look what he did to George Groves. Ironed him out, and George Groves was world-class at that time. So everybody knows that the last thing you lose in boxing, if you're a natural puncher like a Froch, is your punch. And Froch, you know, listen, Fury won't be able to get out of the way of that. He doesn't know how to get out of the way of that. He couldn't get out of the way of that. And I'm sure if Froch anytime Froch is ready to close that one out, it's a done deal.
The moment the headbutt happened, the feud stopped looking like ordinary fight promotion and started looking genuinely personal. Carl Froch, meanwhile, isn't backing down. He has made it clear that he's
going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I
wasn't interested in playing the victim or allowing John Fury to intimidate him. Froch absorbed the confrontation and responded with the confidence of someone who spent years competing against elite opposition. While Fury...
Look, Daniel does do anything to drum something up. I think he does want the Froch fight. I think Froch just called him a little bit on YouTube. But, you know, I think Carl got uncomfortable. Darren's a fucking lunatic. So last thing he wants, Darren still jumping off the ring to you, fucking threatening to choke you and all that, do you know what I mean? So it's the last thing I'd want anyway. So fucking I think Carl just got off rather than have the aggro of, you know, Darren still in front of him, screaming, shouting and spitting in his face.
Fury appeared amused by the incident afterward. Froch's reaction suggests he sees the entire episode as something that has only strengthened his determination. Duke McKenzie sees another side of the chaos.
Promotion. I think it's great promotion. I think it's ugly. I think it's
not a cheap shot.
But they don't. Of course, it's a cheap shot.
Do you know what I'm surprised, Simon?
Boxing is littered with cheap shots.
They don't need to sell the fight, really, do they?
Exactly, Danny. Well, they do and they don't. To the boxing world,
pay-per-view, you mean?
Yeah,
Simon, people see through it.
There's only one thing worse than people talking about you. It's people not talking about you.
Yeah, but it's how they're talking about you. Look at the messages coming.
From a business perspective, controversy can become promotional gold. Boxing has always benefited from rivalries, heated exchanges, and dramatic personalities, and this feud has certainly generated attention. But McKenzie also believes John Fury may have provoked the wrong man. Carl Froch built his reputation by fighting some of the toughest names in boxing. His championship career was defined by pressure, conflict.
But there's always idiots, isn't there? You know, and at the end of the day, you come face to face with a fighting man, you're going to get something, aren't you? Or else the fighting man ain't supposed to be what he is he? And I'm John Fury.
Is it perfect?
The only John Fury, that's me.
And devastating punching power. That history is exactly why McKenzie believes Fury should think carefully before turning verbal intimidation into a real physical confrontation inside the ring. Eddie Hearn has also offered a more uncomfortable interpretation of John Fury's behavior, suggesting that there may be genuine pain and frustration behind the aggression. Instead of simply dismissing Fury as a loud personality, Hearn's comments raise questions about what is actually driving these repeated confrontations.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
Liam Smith views the entire episode as an example of fight hype going badly wrong. Rival fighters are expected to promote tension, but there is a clear line between creating excitement and crossing into something genuinely dangerous. Carl Froch may have entered the confrontation expecting another verbal battle, only for the situation to spiral beyond the normal boundaries of boxing promotion. And now Froch is making his position unmistakably clear. He has accepted the challenge.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer, or just doing it myself. John Fury style. Running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style. And I'm going to prove to everybody out there where...
And is promising that, if this fight becomes official, the rivalry will be settled where it belongs, inside the ring. John Fury, however, has shown little interest in backing down. Instead of apologizing, he has continued attacking his critics and dismissing those who question his behavior. His defiance has only intensified the controversy surrounding him. There is also a fascinating contrast between the two men. Fury presents himself as an old-school fighter who relies on toughness, instinct.
Anybody over 50, I'll fight him. 'Cause I'm a fighting man. Any man born from his mother, I'll fight him. Over 50 years old, on the hard road, in the ring, in the pub, in the back of a gypsy caravan site. You're not a fighting man, because I'll have a fight with you. I'll fight you for a fiver. I'll beat you for a tenner. I'll do you both for 15. Whew, I've got to take a breather, listen.
And raw determination. He rejects many of the modern methods of preparation and embraces the image of a rugged warrior who can overcome anything through sheer willpower. Froch represents almost the opposite philosophy. His confidence comes from years of championship experience, disciplined preparation, and victories against elite competition. He doesn't need to create an intimidating image, because his resume already speaks for itself. Liam Gaff has suggested that the tension between these camps may run deeper than fans realize. Money and pride have reportedly been...
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch. And I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, any man, any time, was saying words to the effect of, "Oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right." And Carl Froch basically said, "All right, well, if we arrange payment..."
Central themes. While Froch has presented himself as willing to take the challenge without making financial demands, the centerpiece of the rivalry. Gareth A. Davies offers another perspective, suggesting that John Fury's explosive personality may be connected to his intense desire to protect his family. That fierce paternal instinct has always been part of Fury's public image. But when that passion turns into physical confrontation, the consequences can become impossible to ignore. And that's where this entire saga now stands. The headbutt has transformed a loud boxing rivalry into something much more serious. Eddie Hearn sees the concern. Johnny Nelson sees potential disciplinary consequences.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him, literally face to face, and I said, well, what is upset? He said, "I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on."
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy.
Mackenzie sees a dangerous opponent being provoked. Liam Smith sees hype spiraling out of control. And Carl Froch sees an opportunity to settle everything inside the ring. Whether John Fury's actions were driven by anger, emotion, showmanship, or a mixture of all three, one thing is undeniable. The confrontation has changed the story. Carl Froch is no longer simply exchanging insults with John Fury. He is demanding an official fight. Now the biggest question is whether John Fury will actually step through the ropes when the talking ends. Because once the bell rings, intimidation means nothing. The only thing left is the fight itself. And that's where this explosive feud could finally be settled.